people look at us as robots who are just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror. But that mirror's that horse. And that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. Let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former interns tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence this 15 November.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? How y'all doing in there? Yeah, we are going to see some, like, WTF Nation in there, right? How y'all doing? Yeah. Anyways, welcome to the Monday edition on WTF Nation Radio. U.S. Army WTF Moments. Yeah. Oh, shit, I just cut the music off. Man, I didn't mean to do it like that. I meant to do it nice and slow and easy. I mean, whatever. Shout out to, I'm busting out a shirt from Kentucky Ballistics. Today, a friend of mine, well, not a friend, but an acquaintance that I know, had an injury on a range, and he put his thumb in the injury, and so he has shirts done up. Just put a thumb in it. So that's been like the phrase that they just put a thumb in it. Just put a thumb in it. I mean, not like any of Taylor Swift's freaking breakup songs, but but still the same effect. Anyways, so how are you guys doing? Real quick, I just want to cover some crazy news. Have you guys been watching the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff? Have y'all been watching it? I've been watching it only because it's been I was told as your humble retired veteran host to watch it and watch it as you're a juror and all that, and then, damn, what do you think? Guilty? Not guilty? Right now, currently, the jury's in deliberation until tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell you what, man, there's some back and forth. Hey, I even got one better. If you tell me what you feel, give me a call at 415-889-8367. And, give me a buzz. Tell me what you feel. You don't have to tell me who you are. You don't have to tell me your name. You can get completely anonymous. You can say guilty, not guilty. And then just tell me the reason why. And I'll be more than happy to throw it up on there, and you guys can be uploaded and podcasted for the world to see. But anyways, yeah, everyone's saying guilty, not guilty, hung jury. Yeah, man, I'm just like, dude, I think it's, and it's just me, I think it's not guilty. I guess you guys have heard already that there's been a weapons charge dropped. And I'm honestly so glad right now that we have had, how do I say this? A lot of individuals that are pundits that are talking about this. I'm so glad you guys are pundits, because you suck as lawyers. Everyone's already hung them out to dry. Everyone's already said, wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, everyone's got, yeah, you can go ahead and keep throwing your comments in there. I'll post them up. You guys don't want to call, of course. And wrong place, wrong time. The defense, Kyle Rittenhouse, obviously they had some good moments. Also the prosecution, if you guys didn't see the recent, he held a rifle, and he held it and let the boy go. That's what Milwaukee, Wisconsin, what Dennis is saying. And prosecution held the weapon, and I don't know, it just kind of like gave me the heebie-jeebies to see him pick up that weapon. Yes, it was cleared, but he had his finger on the bank switch, and just kind of gave me a, I don't know, I just immediately went, Alec Baldwin. So it was kind of a pretty deep, just took a bong hit with Dab and Granny. Well, of course, DD 214 applies, and enjoy at your leisure, of course, in any state that legally authorizes that. I cannot literally say, without, just be safe. Make sure you're in a 420 state. How about that? I don't want to have this, WTF Nation Radio said that you could do this and you could do that. But anyways, yeah. It was good. It was some good back and forth. Closing arguments finished today, and I'm thinking, man, it's all medical. Hey, that's right. You got the card. You're good to go. And I was like, man, this is some good arguing back and forth. There were some myths. There were some myths from the prosecution. Exploding bullets, full metal jackets, questioning whether Kyle Rittenhouse is an authorized EMT or not to provide medic, which, I kind of look at it like this. If you're part of the fire cadets or the police cadets or the Explorer program, they kind of give you basic first aid. Anybody can get basic first aid, right? So I don't see why it's not a big deal, why they couldn't just say it's... we do it for our soldiers anyways with TCCC, a combat lifesaver. We're not really trained in we're not medics. We're not MOS certified or had the ridiculous certifications that medics have. But we do get some basic first aid, right? TCCC, Tactical Casualty Combat Care. Doc Dredd wasn't here to talk about that about a year or so back. So if you have that training, then okay, I could see that. They were saying that the guy that he shot, Gage Grosskreutz, you just can't even say the name without saying it in German. Grosskreutz, Rosenbaum, Rittenhouse. It's just funny. It's just kind of funny that everyone's on a movement here to martyr these two dead dudes for a cause, and you're being called racist for saying that you're glad that they got domed. Does that make, you know what I mean? I just laugh, because if that's really the angle you want to go for, and that's the angle you want to use, you want to martyr those two guys. I mean, I don't even think Sean King can have as much a publicity and martyrdom than these two dudes that got domed by Kyle Rittenhouse. But that's just me. Let the police do their job. It's trained to deal with idiots. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brandon Cameltoe and the rest of the nursing home got to go. Okay, that has nothing to do with it, but the president did say, I guess that's what you're talking about. He was talking about white supremacy and all that, and then used Kyle Rittenhouse's image from the riots. I was kind of just thinking for the other guy, Gage Grosskreutz, for being such a medic. You notice when he got his arm blasted that he was grabbing the wrong side of a wrong level. Don't you think as a medic, if you get your arm shot, I mean, he got his arm obliterated. Hang on, this arm's out, you guys can see better. He was holding on like this, but half of his arm got blasted. So, I mean, was he there? And of course, they're going back and forth with, he was a medic, but he was armed. Child message needed to go. Let the police do the job. Train them to deal with idiots. I won't be honest with you, man. Not guilty. I know it's going to cause everybody to freak out and get upset that, it's dealing with, most likely they were transporting weapons over state lines, but the self-defense points were proven that during the trial. State lines, right? Is it illegal? How many of you here have PCS'd or moved with weapons with you? Or transported them on a flight? Is that transporting over the state lines as well? Regardless of what the commission is at the end of that act? So like if you moved across the country or if you PCS'd and you had weapons with you? Do you, do you say that's illegal? I mean, how many people here have transported weapons to go to a range or a shooting competition? It's transporting. You should have seen all the comments from the social media, from the Army and the Corpsmen. Yeah, I know. In a way, it's kind of cool that it's ironic that I wore a Kentucky Ballistics t-shirt that said, just put a thumb in it, right? Just put a thumb in it. Do you think that dude Rosenbaum, and just put a thumb in it? I don't feel sorry for that. They were all rioting. There was anybody who says seeing all social media accounts, looking at the Twitters and the Instagrams and of course all the sidewalk. I talked to some of the two legit lawyers and legit doctors and say, hey, what do you think about this? And there are some lawyers, acquaintances that I have that actually say that yes, there is a chance that he could walk, but there is a chance there could be a conviction. There is a chance, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's not a, but there's individuals that are actually saying that everybody was being gaslit, that if you follow somebody and say that it's or say that there was riots during this event, then you would. I think Kenosha, I think would be able to tell you that there was riots, and no one's being gaslit by the Russians or being duped. If anything else, if you want to get duped by the Russians, go ahead and just tune into. There's a radio station in Kansas City. I think it's KCXL or something like that. That plays Russian Sputnik. That plays the Sputnik channel. So they're the ones that are spreading all that bullshit information. So if you want to follow them and go ahead. But again, I don't think. What's up, Joe? Wait, who you talking to? Top. No, that's not a name that I've not heard in a long time. I'm not. Who are you talking to? Top? You got your first sergeant in there with you? Is your first sergeant that chats with you, Joe? Or are you talking about me? Curious, how many rioters and looters cross the state lines? Exactly. Wasn't Gage? Wasn't Gage? Gage Grosskreutz. Ahmad Mohammed says that Rittenhouse should not have been there. Oh yeah, Top is in. Okay. Okay. Why do you think he shouldn't have been there? And feel free. If you guys want to call to discuss it and not have to worry about chats and finger typing, and I know some of you guys are on your thumbs right now going, just 415-889-8367, or just look at the little ticker right there going across, and it'll help you out. And I'll answer the phone. The phone lines are open. Just go ahead and give it a minute, because obviously you calling through different nodes and stuff like that. Okay, cool, Joe. Well, tell first sergeant I said hi. Dan, thanks for tuning in. I wonder if everyone's... I'm from the South Side of Dakota, and I would not have went there. There you go. So the best thing is that don't go looking for trouble, and you won't be in trouble. Is that what you're saying, Ahmad? I mean, what were individuals doing there? But the situations that they placed themselves in were situations that they placed themselves in. So, Chicago South Side, man, is that a pretty rough area? Is it compared to? I've been at Gannett Rectory. Well, there you go. Well, appreciate your service, Ahmad. That's what I'm talking about. He should not have been there, but his presence, so we're talking about the moral, not the legal portion of it. And Ginger says that agree that should not have been there, but his presence wasn't breaking the law. No? Was it? Is that true? Somebody saying that too? Top, go back south side or team up with RB again. Oh, okay. So Ahmad's the first sergeant. Gotcha. See if I'm able to find that out. That was pretty cool. How you doing, Top? Welcome to WTF Nation Radio. Appreciate you listening, shit. Joe, don't be messing up with your first sergeant in the chats. South side of Chicago is more dangerous than a deployment. So, again, I think not guilty. That's just me, though. Just me. I'm just a dude. And Dennis says that none of them should have been there. I'm just a dude playing a dude, pretending to be another dude. There you go. Those are my qualifications. Gage broke rule number 1: firearms. Don't point it at anybody with the intention that you don't have. Well, you don't point it at someone you don't intend to kill or use or target. Engage target, right? Yeah, man. It is pretty crazy. We're all good. He's been a friend of mine. Oh, this is good stuff. How many people would they say, well, that's good that you and your first sergeant get along. That's what I'm talking about. I got mentors too, man. Even out. I still have my former soldiers giving me a call and shooting the breeze with me. I see how things are going. Even I call some of my mentors that are still in, asking how they're doing or asking what things are going on, because I have to be on the up and up of all the regulations and stuff that we have within the Army, and also being a member of the WTF Nation team. So I have to kind of like stay on top of all that stuff, so that way I'm not, spreading BS like Jesse Smollett. That was one of the best to do it. Yep. How many people say protect cities but never show up? It takes a kid to put action. Thoughts? Let's see. Breaking news. He's guilty of murder. What are you saying? Whoa. Oh, okay, Jim. Stop it, dude. When you say stuff like that, dude, here I'm thinking, what? Of murdering a prosecutor's... Well, the meds from the VA make me think so. I hear you, man. Man, I hear you. Or the meds that the VA don't give you, and they give you the wrong ones, telling you that you need to take whatever. You're right. Murdering a prosecutor. Jim, don't do that again, bro. Don't do that again, man. You freaked me out. Here I'm thinking, I wasn't on top of that stuff. You got all the information. So going back to the other question that Shipwreck had. How many people say they would go to help to protect their cities but never show up? It takes a kid to put action. Thoughts? No. I know I'd be worried. I mean, I wouldn't. Again, watching the whole sequence of events, watching the timeline and all that, should, like Ahmad said, well, like in the other comments too, should he not have been there? Should he have been there? You're right. And I hope it ends well. Ahmad says, I hope it ends well and it was bad for all involved. That's true, man. That's true. Prosecutor trained at the Alec Baldwin School of Firearms Safety of Excellence. The prosecutor... Exactly. Trained at the Alec Baldwin Center of Excellence of Firearm Safety. How about that? Or Firearm Safety Center of Excellence. If it was my neighborhood, I wouldn't but I wouldn't travel outside my home area. That's another good point too, Ahmad. No, you're right. Did he have to go out there? Again, all bad involved, but everybody, to include looters and rioters, went over the border. Now of course borders are important. Went across state and county lines to do what they did. The whole situation. I'm just kind of freaking out how the FBI, hang on, let me move my mic here. It's all getting all janky on me. The FBI had some of the ballerest, badass footage of the riot. I'm just kind of thinking about that was an indicator that the FBI, that the feds watch everything and watch you do everything. Even in the riots. Nobody even knew that there was riots. There was a full motion video of the riot. It was his father's neighborhood. Correct, Peter. Correct. Yeah, man, it goes back to the prosecutor's going to get disbarred, the questioning of the Rittenhouse silences guilt as introduction to arguments after the jury, after the judge threw it out. That's due. I don't know what the that was probably their worst video. Yeah, exactly. Ahmad, exactly, is watching everything, Gary. I don't know. Some of the stuff, being the fact that I'm a divorce enthusiast. Everyone likes to joke about how many exes, right, Heath, do I have? And if you've ever been in court to see the back and forth that lawyers do, it's theater. It is legit theater when you see lawyers going back and forth and using all the whatever, and it's only as tolerable as the judge will allow it in some cases. And this is just me witnessing it. Not just saying divorce court, but if you've ever been in a jury, or if you've ever watched court TV and you just watched normal events. Hell, you even see it in our Congress. I mean, there are a bunch of lawyers too, supposedly. I trust Kyle with the only winners in divorce. Exactly that are the lawyers, Ahmad. On point, Ahmad. Straight up, man. I'm glad you're here in the chats, man. Tell me about it, brother. And their kids. Yeah, exactly. And their kids. You just got them a set of braces by your divorce case. But that back and forth is a standard. It's standard law. I mean, I didn't say lawyering or something like that, but it's back and forth what lawyers do. Lawyers are always bickering back and forth. They're always having their dramatics, and they're all. I mean, it's theater. I mean, just think about B-roll, B movies or something like that. No, I can't even say B-roll. I'm trying to spit out B movie. A B movie actor or actresses, depending on where. The National Guard is 60 miles away on standby. Yeah, that's true. The National Guard has been activated for the verdict release, the announcement. Everyone's, of course, going back and forth about the gun possession. Yep, the gun possession charge against Kyle Rittenhouse was dropped just before the deliberation. So that was dropped. Matter of fact, I was going to pull up an article about that too. But the Kenosha County Circuit Judge Bruce Schroeder informed the jury that they would not have to decide whether Rittenhouse was guilty of a misdemeanor count against him. Possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. So that charge is done. It's out. So we can't even talk about the state line stuff, right? Can we talk about state lines? Can we talk about not state lines? Hang on, I'm reading the comment. Dennis James Gunring would have been there in the first place and there wouldn't be a discussion. Yeah, I don't know. Again, the lawyering back and forth in the drama, I'm not a lawyer to know what standard lawyer practices, but seeing other lawyers in action, I'm not saying again with my divorces, I want to use that as an example, but seeing lawyers going back and forth with their theatrics and their acting. Well, the gentleman of the jury, I was kind of joking around. I don't know if you saw WTF Nation Radio in the chats of some of these news channels that were broadcasting on their Facebook account. And it reminded me of Chewbacca, the Chewbacca defense on South Park. I can't wait for South Park to do an episode about this. So again, that weapon charges out. If you guys don't know, obviously, he shot Kyle Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum. A lot of German names again. Rittenhouse, Schroeder, Gage Grosskreutz. I watched Perry Mason. Yeah, exactly that. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. I know the deal, man. Hang on for a sec. Oh, I guess okay. No, you're not going to call? Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'm not going to call. Lines are open still if you guys want to shoot the shit. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, watched Perry Mason, and I watched Judge Judy. So there you go. I am completely 100% qualified to shitpost about this case. Rittenhouse's defense team, of course, had filed 2 motions earlier, though, in the trial to have the gun possession charge dismissed, but Judge Schroeder denied both motions, and then he seemed to have changed his mind, saying that Wisconsin law was poorly written and that the shorter barrel size of the AR-15 style rifle that Rittenhouse carried meant that he did not violate any state law. So what's this going to say about the Second Amendment peeps freaking out? Ahmad, Ginger saying that the mob might have hard moving on. I don't know. Have you seen other protests and stuff where guys have gotten ganged up on and beat the hell out of and kicked and on the ground and stomped, and then everyone leaves before somebody comes in and says, hey, whatever? Do you think that would have happened had he not shot? Had he not blasted Kyle Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum? I think Kyle Huber was the one that made everybody go back, because Rosenbaum was shot on the side of a building. He shot Kyle Huber and Grosskreutz in the street. So I think that's what made everybody go, whoa, go back like that. So he's, again, of course, he's charged with 5 felony accounts, including intentional, reckless, and attempted homicide, as well as reckless endangerment. Now, do I think he's going to get hemmed up on all of them? Nah. Nope. I would say probably reckless endangerment, maybe, at the most. Probation, time served, or something like that. Community service. Weapons class. First aid class, or something like that. Show Grosskreutz how to wear. Show Grosskreutz how to use a tourniquet. You guys are savage. The law could have been interpreted that meant that the 17-year-old's age, which Rittenhouse was right on the night of August 25th, 2020, could legally open carry firearms as long as they're not short-barreled rifles. Shorter's announcement, which came before jurors even heard the closing arguments, came to a shock to prosecutors who early argued that the interpretation didn't make sense. Under Wisconsin law, any person under 18 years of age who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. A weapon is defined as a firearm loaded or unloaded. So, wasn't Grosskreutz armed too? He was armed too, right? He pulled out the pistol, and that's why Rittenhouse, blasted his arm. What about transporting firearms? That's been proven during trial over state lines. See, that's another thing too. I don't know where's the state line stuff coming from. I don't see where, the reckless endangerment, intentional, reckless, and attempted homicide, 5 felony counts as well as reckless endangerment. None of that carrying over state lines have not seen it in any docket. Call back again. You guys are impatient, man. Let it ring a little bit. I want to answer. I'm seeing all the voicemails coming in. You said a call and you didn't answer the phone. What about it, Joe? Right now, that's what he's been charged with, right? The charges are 5 felony counts. Intentional, reckless, attempted homicide, as well as reckless endangerment. Grosskreutz had an arm and now he don't. He had a functioning arm. Well, I mean, a functioning arm or a non-functioning arm holding a weapon, and he got blasted, and pew pew, there you go. Now, of course, everyone's talking about Rittenhouse being an active shooter. It's one thing that caught my attention. Grosskreutz has an arm and he doesn't. Oh man. What is okay, I read the wrong thing online. Fucking Drudge. No, those are you got, no man. I love this back and forth with the media. Because there's a lot of people that were going back and forth with the media too. He was an active shooter, and you mean to tell me? So now they're trying to make weapons ownership a race issue. Again, this is the movement you want to use. These are the 2 martyrs you want to use as the individuals who have. That's what you want to say, that supporting the Second Amendment. There are people out there in the media, the pundits out there, that I said I'm so glad that they're not lawyers or not an active lawyering service, that are just pundits, that are shit posters like myself, I guess you would say. I'm glad you ain't fucking lawyer. I'm glad you have no decision making on this, because you're trying to make the Second Amendment a race issue. I've already told you that we've already said that U.S. Army, WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF, we support the Second Amendment. So, and we like to have arguments back and forth, and we do have individuals that come on that like to discuss the arguing of the Second Amendment. We do talk about gun laws, yada yada yada. But when people start saying that now this is a race issue by saying this is a Second Amendment issue with this kid who waxed 2 white dudes and then injured, severely injured another white guy, Are those the martyrs you want to use if you are part of a racial movement? I don't think I didn't see that on my fucking bingo card. All right, hang on. You're gonna have a movement. You're gonna have a movement like that, and you're gonna use these two guys. That's your line. That's your line in the sand. That's your freaking. That's the hill you want to die on. I mean, like I said, man, Sean King can't get any more street kid than these guys, man. Everyone's painting little pictures and having these of what's his name, Huber and Rosenbaum, and these little nice little pictures. Oh, remember? Oh, yeah, remember? Like they're jihadists or something like that. You ever see those ISIS videos after the guys martyr themselves and they have these nice, pretty pictures of them, and they're all painted, they have flowers around them. That's what they did to them. Those are the guys you want to use, huh? Man, I'm gonna call up my my Hispanic friends and say, hey, make sure that these guys are like anybody that is lost in a martyrdom or something like that. Make sure they're legit Hispanics. Don't use white dudes. Again, I just think it's funny to say that it's racist to kill two white guys when the whole freaking media has been talking about white supremacy and all this other stuff. You kind of looking like asses. He was such a sweet kid. That's right, Brian. Oh, man. One dumbass lawyer flagged the whole jury with the... That's the thing, too. He almost Alec Baldwin the jury. Yes, lines are open. Hang on. Go ahead, open them up. Call them. Yeah, he did. Let me pull the video. No, because the last time we pulled the video, we got our shit pulled like that. So, hey, let me show the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Oh, there we go. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm surprised the bailiff didn't just, like, bust caps on him. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Fool. There we go. And there's an image that we could use. Provided by NBC News, of course. I got to give them credit. Otherwise, NBC will get butthurt. So, NBC, I'm using the image that you had posted earlier, right? Don't get the ass with me. Don't get all butthurt. You ain't lying, Ahmad. You ain't lying, man. A lot of people don't even realize that. You know, I will say this: there were some memes that are coming out of Kyle Rittenhouse crying. Did you all laugh at him and stuff like that? There's nothing wrong with laughing at it. I just thought there were hilarious memes. But, you know, PTSD and stuff like that, a kid going through that and then having to reveal or relive those events that night, I'm pretty sure shook him up. Let me see. Let me find this image. Because what I don't want is I want NBC News to get mad at me and freaking say, you guys didn't have permission to use this. So you got to make sure you credit people to that. So this is the... this is the Alec Baldwining the scene that they talked about. Okay, tell me that isn't funny. You guys go ahead in the comments, quick. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. Go. Please tell me. Yeah, Tyler. Exactly, man. 17-year-old now going through that stuff. Anyone else tired of the politicians opening their filthy sewers about issues that don't involve them nor nothing about anything to involve their... Okay, all right, cool. So... Tyler said safety. Right. All right. What else? What cross state lines illegal would he get away with it? He's aiming at the jury. Exactly that, Joe. Could you imagine? I'd have been like, oh, active shooter. I would have lunged at him, right? What would you have done? How do you know that weapon's not secured? See, there's little questions that we have. Dust covers open. You're right. It's shot back. Yeah. So, How is he? And I guess that's the weapon. So that right there, that's not a short-barreled weapon. He's not shoulder property. He has his elbows down. Rust armor, clear the weapon for him, so it's okay. No optics. No sights. Dust cover open. Shoulders too high. Elbows up. Shoulder placement too high. Exactly that. Bad cheek weld. Bad cheek weld, you mean. Bad check weld. Yeah, Bo. So that's what everyone's talking about. Right there. That image. I mean, I guess you can make your point. You could make your point without making your point like that. Does that make sense? You could post something like that, and you could do something like that if you just don't Black Hawk down, trigger safety scene. The careful, man. The barrel broke loose from here. Where did Kyle get his weapon training? You know, that's a good point. Apparently, he got it from one of his friends. They went to go shooting. They're trying to say that it was a straw man purchase. Again, the prosecution was just throwing a lot of it out there. I mean, a lot of comments. He was an active shooter. This is a straw purchase. This is illegal. He crossed state lines. Again, when you only see the charge sheet that we saw before, that I just read. So again, I keep going back to that drone footage, man. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. So now you're just like walking your dog or something like that, and you have some drone flying over you. The judge basically told the DA to shut up. Yeah, and there were some scenes there that were getting pretty touchy. The judge was getting the ass with the way the prosecution was talking, which I don't know. Again, I thought that was part of the Perry Masoning thing that Gary said earlier. Maybe that was just part of lawyer theater. But yeah, I seen the grandkids there. That's a magazine is missing. Well, right. If there was a magazine there, then the case would have been tuck in that chicken wing. Exactly that, Heath. Tuck in that chicken. Why do you say that? Heath, go ahead. Explain the tuck in the chicken wing thing. What? This freaks me out. The FBI wasn't there yet. You know, that's a good point. That is a real good point, Tyler. Clip. It's not called a clip. It's called the elbow up. What the hell is the FBI doing? Oh, shit. Somebody calling now? Oh, no, I guess not. Again, you guys keep missing the calls. I'll hear you, but the audience won't hear if you guys call. So don't be afraid if you call me. That's a good point, man. That is a real good point. FBI had all that footage, all that information, and just decided to come out there and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and, or let it happen. Exactly that, Tyler. Let it happen. They let it happen. They let shit get so bad that the FBI just decided to say, okay, did nothing to prevent it. Feds, what you doing, man? What you doing, Feds? I'm not saying I trust the Feds. But I guess you could trust them for good footage, I guess. Oh, man. What was the other one here? You're on your... Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're on your own in Wisconsin. I don't know, man. What's going to happen when this verdict's read? What do you guys think? Riots? No riots? Feds out. Yeah, It is, Brian. It is conspiracy theories on the highest level. So the FBI was flying a drone around, watching these riots happening, and they were tracking individuals. You could see because they were using the little circle things and the little targeting stuff, and you could see them tracking it. And you saw them all just like that, just like watching this shit happening, going along. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. They're already planning for riots both way. I think so too. Pip. I think they're gonna be riots with not enough or riots of Ewoks. Because otherwise, I mean, there's even individuals talking about doxing the freaking jurors, man. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Because you didn't like the way these people voted or like the way these people deliberated? Wrong answer. Sorry. Wisconsin, pray on it, then get up and defend your wall. Right, dude. That's right, man. Like I said, what can you do? What can you do? We're going to take a break right quick. I want to take a few, at least say friction with a hung jury. I say, nah, you think so? I don't think it's going to be so. It'll be one guilty just to appease the crowd. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And we'll go refill your glasses, shots, hit the potty. Sorry, I've been talking to my little guy, and baby Ice has been acting hilarious lately. So go potty. See you in a second. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Let it all be
sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Oh man. Hang on, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna tell the. Yeah. Hang on, I have to type out something right quick. Anyways, so welcome back. U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio's Monday edition. Oh, man. So, there's some mad drama going on right now. Well, lately, I'm going to tell you what, okay? All right. The admins of U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, we run the gamut. We run the gamut of fields and MOSs and officers and enlisted. We have a pretty decent... we have a pretty decent, diverse too. Name your race, name your color, name your ethnicity, sexual preference, name your pronouns. We have them in the staff. I think we have a better equal opportunity, diverse outlook than the U.S. Army itself per capita, I guess you would say, for what we do, right? So let's first start off with this airborne versus aerosol kick. All right, you guys might have seen a post. You might have seen. I was gonna bring this up during Sergeant's time, but this got me pretty heated, man. This got me heated. Is that there was a picture of a beret that we posted, and this beret, the rank of a lieutenant, of course, in a urinal. Now, I think that going back and forth, the way the post read, which is very, very disappointing. Usually we're pretty open and we like to be respectful to other, but this is war now, you legs. There's a picture of a, I'll just post it right now. Shit, I'll post it. Why not? And of course, this is the big, going back and forth. There's nothing wrong with, with a little rivalry here and there. But it was a picture of a beret in a urinal with lieutenant rank on it. Now, I will say this. The unifying factor in all this is that we can all be unified in pissing on a lieutenant's headgear. I think that's kind of funny. God, I'm getting bombarded in the chats now. Yeah. So let me post this picture up for context in case you guys haven't seen the post at all. That way you guys know what I'm talking about. So there's a picture of a beret inside a urinal, and it's got a lieutenant bar on it and all that. People are freaking out, right? Procuring unattended hats is fun, but putting said hat in the freezer is bush league. To be fair, this is where maroon berets belong. And just be glad it isn't another post about MPs. I'm going to tell you what right now. What's up with that, dude? Why we have some new admins too. We hired a bunch of new admins. Why are our admins causing conflict when we're not supposed to be conflicted on each other's? We're supposed to be respectful. We're kind of like, yeah, airborne this, airborne that. This is an outrage. This is an atrocity. What they should have done, they should have put a Stetson. That's right. ICE loves MPs. I do. All the MPs that I've had some good experiences with, just great, past. But why? I'm not going to obviously blast the admin who did that, but we're going to go back. It's been a heated event for the last 24 hours, going on 48 hours now. An atrocity. Exactly that, Scott. Well, back at Bragg, exactly. Again, I fully condone pissing on a lieutenant's headgear. Totally. Completely 100%. I don't mind that. Pissing on lieutenants. I'm sorry. Lieutenants are just lieutenants. They're going to get, you're going to get, hey, sorry. Whether you're getting taped to a tube of an M1 Abrams or you're getting your headgear pissed on in a urinal. How about you do Cav, huh? How come you don't do Cav? I want to see a pretty Stetson in a toilet. How about that? As a matter of fact, Nation, get your favorite Stetson and put it in a toilet and see what happens. And send it in to us and we'll post it. Oh, man. When the picture explains, LTs are just highly compensated privates. You ain't lying. But a private gets promoted more and does more work. But anyways. Another post. I don't know. Hang on. Let me grab this post here. And it's all we're getting everyone's getting heated in conversation about this, about what's been going on the webs lately. Somebody said it broke the internet, but I don't believe that crap, because if you're a fan of this individual, then then I guess you're a fan of the individual, and you say it could break the internet. Because obviously, if your life revolves around some sort of similarity or parallel to this individual in music and entertainment, there are movies and songs and music that obviously will have you thinking about some good times and some bad times and some sad times, right? Well, there was a post one of the admins posted, and I finally I was asking when I was on break, what the hell's going on? Why y'all talking? Why you guys posting shit like that? I actually was sounding like a boomer, man. I was kind of like being like the boomer about this. I was being the old man. I was being the old admin. I was almost like Big Sarge, man. Thank you. But I didn't get the context. And the context is that about an hour ago, one of our admins posted, "Fuck you, Jake." Jake from Steak Farm. Hang on, let me get this right here posted right so you guys can see it. There you go. So somebody posted that "fuck you, Jake." Now everyone was going back and forth about Jake from State Farm, Jake, blah, 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 blah. You know what Jake we talking about? Of course, all the Jakes in the chats and comments rallying up the Jakedoms to speak. Now, I do know a Jake, and he is a 100% freaking tool bag. The Jake that I know. And I'll be honest with you, did I just quote Zeppelin? Did I? I don't know. I do have the philosophical. Hang on, I'm gonna tell him to watch the screen. Exactly that. Everyone's like, poor Jake or Drake from State Farm. Anyways, have you guys not been paying attention to what's going on in the entertainment industry? And of course, again, I got corrected. I was corrected, of course. And it's freaking hilarious. And I know sometimes we don't get involved in calling people out sometimes and all that. But if you guys didn't know, the sad story or the sad song that Taylor Swift put out, right? I guess she was involved with Jake Gyllenhaal. Can you Gyllenhaal? Well, one of the right now everyone's going back and forth in the chats, arguing back and forth whose team you're on. Are you Team Jake? Or are you Team Taylor Swift? I don't know. I guess Taylor Swift released a video that made everybody go nuts and crawled everybody back into their emotional cells of misery and drinking themselves, crying and talking about past experiences with their former lovers or former relationships and stuff like that. And I guess Jake Gyllenhaal was hanging out with Taylor Swift and I guess dissed her and ghosted her on her 21st birthday or something like that. I don't know the gist because I don't follow Taylor Swift. Why is nobody talking about the still on identity crisis? Jake from State Farm. Again, everyone's going back and forth about why is she. Everybody knows that if you're dating Taylor Swift and you piss her off, she's going to write a song about you. She's gonna write a song about you. I'm not. This is not pop. This is like unpop culture warrior stuff. This is stuff that pop culture warrior doesn't want to talk about sometimes because he CQ wants to be a he wants to be he wants to be happy and wants to have great news about stuff like that. Well, I'm gonna give you. Maybe I should just do this as the unpop cultured portion of the entertainment industry. So I guess the women admins of U.S. Army WTF Moments have taken a side and said, "Fuck you, Jake." And decided now we're all arguing back and forth. First, we were arguing back and forth about the urinal and the airborne-dom. And now we're arguing about Jake. Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, why do we care? Why whatever? I mean, obviously, this is a pretty big event. Everyone's like making a big deal. Dudes have been I'm sorry, dudes have been kind of, I don't know. You guys are married or been in relationships for a long time. Dudes have been having to deal with stuff that you didn't realize you fucking did from years ago, right? Isn't that how it works? Why do we have this up? Taylor made. There we go. I'll add that. So there you go. I'll add to the argument right there. There you go. So Jake Gyllenhaal in a maroon beret in a toilet that's got lieutenant rank on there. Blasphemy. How could you have like I said, you guys, WTF Nation, send us a pic. Send us an image. Put it in the inbox and said, ICE told me to send this Stetson of my command sergeant major. Bet you won't do it. Or my platoon sergeant or lieutenant. Man, actually make a lieutenant. I want a bounty. As a matter of fact, I should send you. Maybe I should. Would this send you some swag or something like that? Would that get you to do it? If you send me a lieutenant's Stetson inside of a toilet, I'm not a fan of either. We'll probably turn down cattle wrangling. I'm telling you, man. Look. Everyone goes through their relationships and goes through stuff like that. But again, if you're dating Taylor Swift and you happen to piss her off, she's gonna write a song about you. I'll be honest with you, I'm waiting for all the Britney songs. I'm sorry. Britney has got almost 14 years of music about ready to put out. I can't wait for her to drop receipts. I want to see her drop dimes. Because I'll be honest with you, it's like every year Taylor Swift will release some music, and then of course, blah 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 blah. Everyone's upset. Everyone hates men on the TL forever, and guys get blamed for shit that, the leaves turn brown. It's all men's fault because Taylor Swift wrote it in a freaking song, right? I want to see what Britney's got to put out. She's gonna put out some awesome payback stuff. Everybody who enabled that shit, who thought it was so cool, that watched that shit happen to her, and now everyone's being nice that she gained, she had her father lose the conservatorship. Britney is cray. I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Everyone's saying she's cray, but look at the conditions that was set for her to be that way. We didn't know she was being restricted by her father like that. We didn't know that her sister was involved in some of this drama, or her mother. All these receipts are starting to come out. She's going to drop receipts, man. Who's going to be like, who's Taylor Swift after this shit? And I have daughters, so, if you don't know any Taylor Swift songs or Britney songs, if you don't have daughters, and you're going to hear it. I got daughters, so I have to hear this stuff. Then I hear the backstory about, hey, Dad, did you hear how this happened? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I did not know how this happened. And then blah, 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 blah. And then, Taylor Swift did this, and then Jake Gyllenhaal did that. And I'm like, wow, really? Okay, cool. So I guess I'm not dating Taylor Swift. I guess I'm a scratcher off the swipe left or swipe right, whatever. I don't use those dating apps much, but I'm just saying. Anything that you write that has to do, anything you do to Taylor Swift, she's going to write, she does some lyrics. She will get your texts. She will get your text messages and put them in lyrics, man. Just forewarning you. Don't fuck around on Taylor Swift. Tyler, it's Britney, bitch. Exactly that. Hang on, I'm going to take his wig. Yeah, man. So again, there's a bounty out right now. If you can make that beret into a Stetson, there may be a reward in this. I don't know. I have to talk to the staff and talk to the to the bosses and say, hey, can we send some swag or something like that? Can we send somebody, you know? But then again, you'd be like, you would know. I guess it's kind of like revealing it to your leadership, huh? I don't think Britney's crazy. That's just me. I just think again, she had a lot of issues that was going on that was, and unbeknownst to us, enabled. So, anyways, that's what that post "fuck you, Jake" was about. I guess the admins, the women admins, were expressing their some of the comments in that post are hilarious. Felt or wool? I just want to see a Stetson. And all the airborne members of the admin staff want to see Stetsons. We're out for blood. All this Cav stuff. Cav. There's a comment in that post that says, my ex-husband name is Jake. I support the statement. The comments are gold, man. They're awesome. There's about 100, almost 200 comments in there. Hilarious. But again, I know a Jake myself, and that would have been a good, fuck you, Jake. Probably gonna get a lot of shit. Oh man. But so there you go. Dances with Wool. I identify as hey, you know what? As long as you have, it's the difference between airborne and air assault. Hang on, I'm gonna piss off the other admins that are air assault. Is that airborne is an actual way of life? Air assault's just a badge. It's just sling load course with the extra spice. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm trying to, you know what? I've been out and my calendar's opened up. I'm going to have a guest coming on who is an actual squad who did Cav stuff. They can explain to us what Cav is, what cavalry squadrons do, and what a squadron does, and what the whole thing of the So when he comes on, he's going to explain to it. Again, the calendar just opened up. So we can discuss Cav. We can discuss Cav stuff. I mean, we bust out on Cav a lot, right? Do we not know what Cav does? I mean, as long as I have been and being assigned to some units that were Cav, one day my origin story will come out, and there'll be a funny story about Cav. But I don't know what Cav does. I mean, yet. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I've been in units that have Cav in it, but I don't know what they do. But again, I'm just, I don't know. Hopefully the admins are listening. That I told them to look at the screen because we're busting on Jake Gyllenhaal. Man, I don't know. So we got some comments here. Let me see what comments. Let me see what comment that some of the admins I'm getting flung at. Everyone's saying that's the case. Jake Gyllenhaal was a Marine and fuck Marines. These are I'm reading actual comments from the admins here. There's another one here. There's another one that let's see, Jake Gyllenhaal, talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, and some guys are Team Jake, some guys are Team Taylor, some guys are Team Jake. Team Jake was while Jake was on the phone trying to responsibly ensure his family's needs. His wife was upstairs sending snatch pics to Jody on Snapchat, and then she blamed her on him. That's wow! I did not know that. Did she? I did not know that. Did he get? Is that what happened? Man, maybe I'm gonna get in trouble for busting out on Jake Gyllenhaal. Legs, exactly that. Cav's legs. Wait, don't they have airborne Cav, right? There is an airborne cavalry unit. In the 82nd, though, you have to go to the division. But yeah, there's a lot of comments in here about everyone's like, man, we're kind of pissed off. I mean, again, if you're gonna date Taylor Swift, make sure you do her right, because she's gonna fucking write anything you say, anything can and will be held against you in the court of Swift, and she will post it in a song and make money off of the shit that you did to her. Do the horses jump? Some wish they did horses. Anyways, I'm sorry, we're going back and forth on all this stuff. And everyone's Let's see. What the? So I gotta post. I gotta post. Everyone's asking me where because everyone's been asking me where Flash has been, and Flash has been will be held against Heath Ledger. Oof, too soon. That sucks, man. About Heath Ledger, dude. He's a fucking talented actor and decided to do what he did. That just sucks. That just sucks. Always reach out, people. Always reach out. Even if you're down in the dumps, just sitting there listening to Taylor Swift, upset about yourself, reach out and call a friend. I know there's sometimes I'll get, I don't want to say down in the dumps, but I'm just not feeling, whatever, and I'll hit up one of the guys. You want to play some Xbox? And then we'll jump on it. Have you played that new Call of Duty Vanguard? Yeah, let's play Call of Duty, so we'll play Call of Duty. Stuff like that. So, again, let me see, what's the so I guess for Halloween, the 1st Armor Division allowed individuals to show up. I know this could be a Sergeant's time thing, but I'll freaking do this right here since I'm hanging out with you guys and we're kind of going sort of kind of scripted, but not. This is hilarious. So apparently, there was a meeting and leaders were allowed to show up in costume if they wanted to, and so with that, then individuals did show up in costume. One of the costumes that you will see right now is Iron Soldiers. Man, I support this. This is a no shit real picture. This is not fake. This is not Photoshop. This is real. Light fighters. So anyways, I would have died laughing if I was sitting in a QTB or sitting in a training meeting and I saw that pic or I saw that image. I would have been rolling. I would have lost it. I would have gave that individual the rest of the day off. Depending on what time the meeting was, but I don't know what time the meeting was. Anyways. Best unit ever is when they were in Baumholder. You know what? I was with the 1st Armor Division when they were in Wiesbaden, Jim. So, you and I might have chewed the same dirt in Iraq. Yep. It was, I like being in 1st Armor Division. It was a good unit. It wasn't too bad. Odd that we again, I think it's kind of cool. You should best unit. What were you in Baumholder, man? I mean, what unit were you with? Because I was up in Wiesbaden and we did a lot of trips. I was in the G3 shop, so ACO 16. There you go. Oh shit, yeah, dude. I got some buddies that were on 16. I was in Germany when there were 2 Germanys. And yeah, I was in Deutschland when there was 2 Deutschlands. Ostdeutschland. Oh man. Hey, real quick, I just want to give everybody a shout out reminder. 2002, oh dude, we definitely were there together, man. We definitely were there together. I mean, no shit. 2002 to 2004. I was there from beginning of 04 to 06, or 06. I was there for almost 3 years. 4 years? I can't remember. That time freaking goes so quick because there was an extension and there was all that drama going on. So, yeah, man. I just want to real quick shout out. Still to this day, the U.S. Army, the White House, has not announced an award date for Sergeant First Class Alwyn Cash. It's been since last year since the bill for Alwyn Cash's award to be upgraded from a Silver Star to a Medal of Honor has been approved by the former administration. The current administration has not at all given any word to anyone, nor has the Department of Defense or the White House, press secretary or whoever has not announced any date. I'm kind of pissed off about the fact that this has gone this far and nothing has been revealed. But anyways, other than that, don't forget tomorrow we have a Pop Culture Warrior with the CQ UC35 at Karen's. Wow, Karen's. Now that's a name, Karen's, I've not heard in a long time. Damn, dude. Damn. Well, that seems to survive with the Germany trip is not normal. It is not normal, man. Biden keeps forgetting about it. we try to maintain some sort of neutrality when it comes to this shit, but it's getting pretty bad. It's getting to the point to where it's literally a hey, look, what the hell's going on? What's the deal? But anyways, so tomorrow we have Bill Chase, who's coming on, and Chicago Justice, Nash Bridges. He's been on a bunch of shows. Trust me, when he comes on, you guys will recognize him once you see him. He's going to come on to shoot the breeze with pop culture warrior, of course, Michael Carrasquillo, and the unpop cultured Radar. And then Wednesday is a day off. Thursday is Sergeant's Time with me and Spanky. Of course, discussing all the current military, U.S. Army and veteran affairs of issues and news. Friday is Friday Night Freedom with Kaz. He's going to be back. Hope you had a good trip, Kaz. I see you in the chats. We're talking, shooting the breeze. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday are our days off. And, of course, right back to the Monday edition with myself. And anyways, but other than that, thank you guys so much for listening. You can download us on Google Play, Apple Podcasts. We are on several Facebook pages. Well, we're on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. And right now we're in the Twitter sphere. I like being in the Twitter sphere because people just, I don't know, just for some reason it's a nuanced platform and is a very woo, man. Individuals have a lot of takes on there on things that you would not expect would be takes on there. Obviously from some friends, family and friends that are on there. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I think anything else. Again, deliberations happening. Tomorrow is going to be the trial. The verdict might come back tomorrow. Deliberations, obviously, they said they're going to come back at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be some new, obviously the timeline is going to be pretty busy. There you go. So keep your ear to the ground and you all have a good night. And shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the bubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planets of America. Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
You step foot on the ranch, right away you feel the relaxation of being out in nature. Just being here, because it's so nice and calm. That's right when you see the first change.
The first time I got here, it was like I was back with my brothers. It was so peaceful.
Well, Horses for Veterans is a equine-based networking experience for veterans where they can come and kind of decompress, get away from everyday life, kind of reconnect with other veterans that have been through similar situations. It's an opportunity to be mentored, get up for job and career opportunities and personal opportunities as well.
We hadn't seen each other from October 13th, 1969 until April 2016. And it was just like we had never been apart. Everybody here is combat veteran. Been through it. Doesn't matter what war you're in. No. You know, and they're all similar. Maybe the location's a little different, and the enemy might dress a little different, but it's all the same when you're in the Delta Sierra. The horses are great. They allow you to focus on just you and that horse. It's not a scripted schedule. It's kind of how the dynamics of the group work.
And then you're going to come down to the stables, and you'll start working with the horses, and it's nothing mandatory. Like our first session, we got out here and we just started grooming a horse. Patrick showed us how to groom a horse, and it was just fun. And as we're grooming a horse, we're telling our story.
You get to see somebody who's never been around a horse who's scared of horses. And 5 minutes later, they're riding a horse.
through the horses and through this experience with other veterans, you get something back. I walked taller, smiled more, fought more.
You're going to feel like you're part of the family again. You're not alone.
You need to recognize that it's nothing wrong, nothing weak about asking for help.
We're a family. We understand that. And that's what you need.
It doesn't hurt to have people in a network assisting you to get where you want to go. I want to be a part of helping people coming out of combat regain a normal life of what they were before they experienced that.
Whatever problems you have from dealing with combat or your military service, the program is going to help you through that. It's going to open a lot of doors. It's going to open your eyes to a lot of things that you didn't know that were out there.
What is it that you want to do? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? You've got a passion. Well, let's go for it.
To apply, go to warhorsesforveterans.com.